Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Nedarim page 85, which discusses a situation where a person goes up to a friend, or not much of a friend, and he steals his produce. Now, the question is, what does he have to give back? Well, one would say, obviously, he should have to give everything back. But we know that when a person owns a bunch of produce, they don't have the ability to keep it all for themselves. First, you need to tithe. You need to take off the proper trumot and maasros and distribute it to the various people, whether it's to the poor, to a Kohen, to a Levi. All these different things need to be done. And then whatever is left, then the owner is able to keep the rest. So the question is, when a person steals and has to return something to this person, does it really require that this person has to get everything back? Because he didn't really lose out on the part that he has to give away anyway. So we say that there's a possibility that he has to give back everything. And even though it's true that you don't have the rights to keep these tithes, but perhaps there is some monetary benefit because you can choose which Kohen to give this produce to, which Levi to give the 10% to. And since you have that control, that has some monetary value, and therefore maybe you have to get the whole thing back. Alternatively, it's possible that really that doesn't have any real merit, doesn't have any substance to say that you have to receive everything back, because again, it's not really yours. You're giving it anyway to the Kohen, to the Levi, to everyone else. Nonetheless, there is the possibility that we require the thief to give everything back anyway. Why? Why should he have to give everything back? The owner doesn't need it all back anyway, because a lot of it is not going to be his. So in this, the Talmud says a very important answer. It says that we will cause a penalty. We will cause an additional hardship for the thief. And we will require the thief to give back the entire thing, even though in truth, the person that he stole from is not losing out on a lot of that which he stole. Now, why? And the reason is to deter people from stealing. If a thief realizes that he can steal a certain amount of produce and only give part of it back, maybe that person is going to be less concerned about stealing. They may end up stealing because they know that there's not much as far as them having to give everything back anyway. And therefore the rabbis say, no, he has to give everything back. We want to cause this person who's a thief to realize the error of his ways, and therefore he has to give back every single thing that he stole, even though part of what he stole doesn't really have any monetary value to the person he stole it from. And this is a very important concept when it comes to laws. We find, especially in this day and age, there are a lot of people that are extremely lenient when it comes to petty theft. People can go into stores and steal, and instead of that person going to prison, they're basically have a slight slap on the hand, and then what ends up happening? They go and do it again and again. And there are other states that are actually saying that if you steal less than a certain amount of money, then it's not considered to be a serious crime. And what's going to end up happening? So people are still going to go out and steal. There's nothing that's holding a person back because they know that the worst case scenario, they get caught. But they're not going to get into some serious trouble. And therefore, they'll just do it again and again and again. And that is a problem. We need to have people in check. They have to realize that there are consequences to their actions, that crime does not pay. But if you create a system in which the person who steals is not going to get any penalties, is not going to really get punished, so you're creating more of an incentive for people to steal. What ends up happening, of course, is that the store owners either go out of business or they have to raise the prices for the good people like yourself that really all they want to do is to be able to make purchases and do the right thing. All of a sudden, you're paying for the crimes of others.